Hello everybody, welcome back. It's been a while since we've shot a video. We're back on the road. August 3rd, 2022. I am in Brooklyn, Wisconsin at Winterfell Acres. It's a beautiful small organic farm just south of Madison, Wisconsin. What you'll see behind us is the newest addition to the farm. The 30-foot deep north to south Ceres greenhouse. This particular greenhouse has 10-foot eaves as ordered by Ceres, but it's on about a 2-foot raised stem wall, so it's about 12 feet inside. The farm grows a plethora of things, but I'm going to take you for a little walk inside the greenhouse so you can see how amazing things are doing inside. I was just speaking with Bethanee, the farmer, and she was saying how the consistency of the environment in there has allowed a lot of the crops inside to go absolutely bonkers, as you'll see that she doesn't see in her hoop house or in her field crops. It is August 3rd, so in the middle of summer. She has a 30% shade cloth on the outside of the glazing. And she said in about a month or so that will be removed, but that's been really helpful for her. For both her production crops as well as seedlings that she's been able to maintain and consistently grow seedlings throughout the summer, which is unusual for her inside a building. Usually they're too hot. This greenhouse does have a GAT system. It also has a transition manifold, and I will walk you through all those. Let's go inside. All right, so we're just inside the greenhouse. You are on the west side. We are looking east into the greenhouse. What you're going to see here is actually really interesting. Here are cucumbers. These are hitting the trusses and beyond, so that's a 12-foot plus cucumber. She said they've been highly productive. These are some of the happiest cucumbers I've ever seen. These are giant leaf cukes. They're very exciting. What you're also going to see right here is fall beets. These are seedlings that are starting at the same time. Usually in a greenhouse in August, it's way too hot and you can't do seedlings. What Bethanee has said is that because of the way the Ceres greenhouse has been functioning for her, she, for the first time, has been able to not only do seedlings throughout the summer, but to get them to field size, for her to bring them out into the fields, is 1 to 2 weeks faster than what she's used to because of the ideal environment that's happening in here. I'm going to walk you around the greenhouse here in a second, but we've got melons right next to you. You can't see them yet. There's celery everywhere, chard and kale, peppers that she's going to keep through the winter and try and perennialize. They will get woody and probably produce into the winter and definitely be ready to produce early next spring. Nice tomato garden on a Dutch trellis system, so she can keep lowering them as they keep getting bigger. More cukes, and then there's a whole tropical garden of papaya, guava, avocado, citrus, and then a whole bunch of ginger and turmeric, which is pretty fun. So I'll take you for a walk around the garden and show you what's happening. These are test melons. She's got watermelon and a few other melons, cantaloupe that I'm not sure of, that she's seeing how they do in the greenhouse. This is all celery growing in the cinder blocks, which is very fun. She's just playing around with it. This is a really robust kale and chard situation. Very happy. Then we get into our peppers. You can see they're looking quite happy, and they are over 6 feet tall, which is pretty big. We're getting some bell peppers going yellow already here. And remember, this is a functioning farm, so they're being harvested as they become ripe. To my left here, you will see citrus, guava, banana, papaya in the back, and then we're up some fig with figs on the vine, on the tree, you can see there. And then we're getting into the tomato, the trellis tomato portion of the greenhouse. And so what you'll see here is clips. As the plant continues to grow, they'll actually slide this down, re-clip it, and then you lay the tomato down. And that's how it's harvestable. It's a really neat system, and it's really nice to work at head height and below, as opposed to having to climb up into the rafters like you have to for the cucumbers, which are giant. And then we start getting into a really healthy nasturtium patch. These are edible flowers, great on salads. Here's our GAT exhaust. I will show you the intake as we get over there. This, I've just learned, is ginger. I don't see ginger growing too often, but this entire bed is ginger with a grape behind it going up the vine. I'll walk you over to one that I was shown. I said, when do you know it's time? How do you know when to get to the ginger? And you'll see here, it's beginning to show its head. And this was started from seed. So it's very cool to see ginger being grown in central Wisconsin. The transition manifold that you see here is the intake for the GAT system. What the transition manifold allows us to do is decide whether we want to intake air from inside the greenhouse, which is the top up here, or from outside, which is through a louver and out the north wall right there. On a day like today, middle of the summer, slightly cooler air outside the greenhouse on the north side of the north wall. And so right now, the transition manifold is taking in air from outside of the greenhouse, slightly cooler, underground, cooling it further, and exhausting it back into the greenhouse. In the winter, we like to take the warm air that's in the greenhouse on sunny days and put it underground, as opposed to ice cold air from outside, to heat the soil, which allows us to store heat under the greenhouse and also warm the soil for the plants that you're growing in.